Welcome, welcome. We're glad that you've tuned in our live stream. It is the Spiritual Emphasis Week here at Southern Asia Pacific Division. This week's theme is Health Work and Entering Wedge for Truth to Reach Hearts. Our speakers are Drs. Richard Nelson and Edward Nathan. Dr. Nelson is the Vice President for Academics at IAS. He also serves as the Professor of Public Health, Interdisciplinary Health, Education and Practice, and Lifestyle Education. Dr. Nathan is the Public Health Department Chairperson and also serves as a professor at IAS. You're invited to share this stream with a friend, family, or co-worker that you think can be blessed from this content. Send them this link, or better yet, share your screen with someone nearest you. If you have a prayer request, comment below or chat with us. We would love to pray for you. The program has started, so let's jump in.
Quietly, people will come up. Where are you from? So when I was studying college, I would say CMC or I'm from Malaysia. Oh, do you know this? Do you know this? Then suddenly one or two words, then tang, yes, one word will come out. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, okay. And we are always a family. Pardon me, I do forget names. I am opposite of Dr. Hart, who can remember everybody's name. I'm fascinated with Dr. Hart, the president of Loma Linda University. He can remember names. But I still forget some of your names. Faces, I do, but names. Please pardon me, but I'm glad that we are all together. Today, yes, the heart of the matter, right? Yeah, the heart. I'd like to introduce the heart of my life, although it was introduced just now. Dr. Shanti Solomon. We both come from totally different backgrounds. She is totally from India. I'm totally from Malaysia. I did eat chapatis when I was small. She ate chapatis when she was growing up. Her cousin studied here before in IAS, Dr. Paul Bagian, who is now the Vice Chancellor for Northeast India University. Yeah, Northeast India University in Shillong. Yeah, that's her cousin. And she comes from a fourth generation of Adventists. We met in medical school. She was doing nursing. She's 1 year senior to me in medical college, but she was doing nursing. And doctors, we learn from nurses. But I didn't just learn from her. We were together in church. And she has served the church in Nepal, India, Penang, and even in US, both in Loma Linda and Pacific Union College in Angwin. For the past 8 years before coming to Philippines, she was the principal and the education consultant for the nursing college in Penang. I must say something about the nursing college. It is the best nursing college in Malaysia. Every year, nearly every year, it's 100% success rate in the national board exam. Yeah. And so it's so good that even other hospitals are sending potential nurses to be trained in our college. And one of them is a big hospital, Institut Jantung Negara, IJN, the National Heart Center of Malaysia. They send potential nurses to be trained in a hospital and then go back to IJN in Kuala Lumpur to be nurses there. So we are doing a good service. And I always feel that for institution, you need to be the best. Not just surviving, you need to be the best. And I will talk a little bit about Penang Adventist Hospital. Yes, I will start again with, I will go. And today's week of prayer is the heart. The heart, a very important organ in the body. Let me remind you again of, I believe it's my text for this week. Genesis 1:26-27. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. The nature of God's image is holistic. When Adam came from the Creator's hand, he bore in his physical, mental, and spiritual nature a likeness to his Maker. You are like your Maker. So always look in the mirror, as mentioned over here, And don't see yourself, but see Jesus in you. See Christ in you. And every day, try to imitate the life of Christ, either in your words, your choice, your behavior, and your lifestyle. Deuteronomy 6 verse 5 mentions that the various dimensions of the human being, the soul, the heart, the strength, the heart in this case is the mind and the mental, and the strength, the physical body. There is a similar pattern in 1 Thessalonians. A human being made in God's image would naturally include all these dimensions. So we need to be spiritually strong, mind and mental strong. Yes, we have a lot of psychological issues, stressful issues, but we can still be strong in God. And yes, never neglect the physical body. The heart, an interesting organ. Let me start with some interesting general knowledge. Sorry, it's a bit small. Oh, it's quite good. It's the size of the fist of your hand, correct? Put it to the left side of your chest. That's your heart. Interesting. And when we operate, we open the sternum, and that's it. The heart will be. And so when we do bypass, we put ice. We have to freeze the heart. Because when you're beating with the heart, it's very difficult. Your hand has to coordinate with the heart. But now, the new surgeons, the newly trained cardiac surgeons, operate with a beating heart. The reason is, when you are freezing the heart, in other words, you are dead for a moment. But you're not dead, because we have a heart-lung machine that pumps. The function of the heart is pump. So we have a machine that pumps. So the machine is on standby for those surgeons who are now training. But when they train, they go like, chick. As the heart beats, they will suture. And as we suture, it will take about 25 to 30 sutures just to go around. And we have to do it in 1 to 2 minutes. We cannot freeze the heart for too long. So once we freeze the heart and the suture part is okay, we let go, let the heart beat, and that depends on how many bypass you do. The maximum that I've experienced in my practice is 7, a lot. And some of them are underneath. We have to push the heart this way, and we cannot touch the heart completely with a hand, because if you touch too much, it will cause cardiac arrhythmias. We don't. So we actually don't touch the heart. We see the heart. It's only when we bypass that we do the touching a bit. We don't touch that much, because your heart is actually very sensitive. You can see the heartbeat, stop, and then the heartbeat. Size of your hand, it starts at the day 19 or 22 of life. That means when you're pregnant, 3 to 4 weeks, you'll see the heartbeat. So for some people who are scanning, you'll see the first thing of life is the small little tuk, 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 tuk in the scan, when we do the scan of the fetus, and you'll see the heartbeat. And it goes on until the day you die. It will never stop, never stop. The heart can function without the brain. So yes, that's why you've seen people on the brain is dead, but the heart is keep functioning. And some of them, 5 years, 10 years, still on what we call brain dead situation. It pumps 2 different types of blood. Can you imagine one machine, I would call it in this case a machine, pumping 2 different types of blood. The arterial blood to give you oxygen, and the venous blood to be exchanged. So that venous blood has to go to the lungs to be exchanged. Again, when I mention all this, remember, you're wonderfully made by God. Who can imagine that one machine can do 2 things? Pump blood, boom, all the way out, 5 liters of blood per minute, 5 liters, pumping, pumping, pumping every day. And here, about 2 to 3 liters just back to the lungs for it to change the oxygen. It's it's unfortunately the most common death in most countries, the heart disease. It's mostly from lifestyle. It is rarely that you inherit heart disease from your parents. Rarely. There are congenital valvular disease that you'll get maybe because of some genetic or changes during the fetus part. But heart disease is a lifestyle disease. It's a lifestyle. And like President said yesterday, you want to live long, it has to be intentional, which I will mention again. You have to take care of this heart of yours. And it's not difficult to take care of the heart. The heart beats about 100,000 times per day. Newborn hearts beat faster than the adult hearts. I like the next one. A woman's heart typically beats faster than a man's heart. Is it because the wife is more concerned about the man, making sure that he's good so that women's heart beat faster? It's interesting. Uh, if you grab a tennis ball, yes, you grab a tennis ball and you squeeze that tennis ball, that is how hard your heart beats. Okay? December 1967, Dr. Christian Barnard transplanted a human heart into the body of a man, and that was the first heart transplant. But you know that Loma Linda did a baboon heart transplant called Baby Faye in 1984. Yes, a lot of issues came up from it. Baby Faye, I think, survived 1 month, about 1 month, yeah. It's an interesting story to hear, and Dr. Leonard Bailey, the surgeon in Loma Linda Hospital, did that surgery. Cardiovascular disease or heart disease are the leading cause of death globally. An estimated 17.9 million of people die from heart disease in 2019, representing 32% of all global deaths. Of these deaths, 85% were due to heart attacks and strokes. So 17.9 million people die from heart disease. That's a lot, that's a big number. This is from WHO. Over 3/4 of cardiovascular death takes place in low and middle income countries. It is because they say that their knowledge of diet is poor, they work without using the applications of what they have studied before, but now even higher income countries are getting heart disease. Out of 17 million premature deaths under the age of 17 due to non-communicable disease, 38% were caused by cardiovascular disease. So in disease in medicine, we divide into basically two things: communicable, like COVID, like flu and measles, and non-communicable, which is not transmitted from people. And that is basically lifestyle disease. So diabetes is lifestyle disease, heart is lifestyle disease, hypertension is lifestyle disease, even cancer can be considered as lifestyle disease, which I will talk about it tomorrow. So, American Heart Association says, let's live with 7 simple things that will make your heart healthy. So to live to 100, it's intentional. You want to live to 100 years old, it's intentional. Number 2, live to 100 is a video. Again, I invite you to have a look at it. It's not a video, it's a program done by Netflix. Download it. I'm sure you all know how to download it. Even in YouTube, I think it's there. A program. Each program is about an hour, so nice, 4 hours for you to see. Take your time and look at it. And the second one will focus a lot on Loma Linda. Sorry you cannot see, but this is talk about life expectancy. Can you see? Oh, yes. So this is interesting. 2010, life expectancy. That means if you live normally, you live like a normal person, do whatever you want. Normal person means eat and do like what you need to do. You're going to live 74 years in Malaysia. In the world, it's 70 years in 2010. I put Indonesia because some of you are from Indonesia. In Philippines, 70.8. Okay, this is the life expectancy calculated from research that this is in 2010. Come to that point over there, 2021. Malaysia is about the same, 74. Indonesia dropped down a bit, 68 to 67. Philippines also dropped down a bit, 70 to 69. The world just went up by 1 year. That means by 70 years, if we don't do anything, we're going to die. That's what it means. If you don't do anything extra, this is what it's going to mean. You're going to die at 70 years. I've got another 10 more years. Is that a nice news? No, I don't think it's nice. I want to live longer. I didn't put here, but Singapore should be about 80s and Japan about 80s. Interesting. So one of the reasons you can live long is because of the health facilities. Singapore being a small country, anything that happens, emergency can go out. I'm scared about Silang. Really, I'm scared about Silang. My first thing when I came here is, if I have a heart attack, where am I going to get my treatment? I have to go probably to Manila, because I heard in Silang, all these hospitals here cannot manage heart attacks. And it needs to be urgent within the next 30 minutes, not even 20 minutes, not even 30 minutes, in 15 to 20 minutes. If you get a heart attack and a stroke, What are you going to do in Silang Cavite? Where are you going to manage it? So my thing is, don't get a heart disease, don't get a stroke. So I'm going to give you some secrets, and we have to do that. I wish Penang Adventist Hospital was here, because if you do, straight from the ER, if it's bad, we'll bring you up to surgery. The cardiac surgeons will come in the middle of the night to do surgery if it's needed. But usually the cardiologists will come and stable the patient. They will do their immediate angiogram and put a stent for the time being, and the next morning the surgeons will come in. So we have operated at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Now, cardiac surgeons are highly paid, but can you imagine their life is stressful. We do 2 or 3 cardiac surgeries per day, and it comes by 5 a.m. in the morning and finish about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And sometimes we don't even have lunch. Yeah, so nice. The nurse will at 1 o'clock say, "Doctor, we're going for a lunch. Thank you." And then nothing will come in, but the doctors will still be operating. And we'll stay there about 2, 3 o'clock until the first case finished, and then goes to the next case. So life of a heart surgeon is a stressful life. So 7 simple habits, if the take-home message is today. And, it's interesting. Doesn't this sound like the Adventist Health Message, this 7? Just look at it. And this is from American Heart Association. Number 1, avoid smoking and using tobacco products. Number 2, be physically active every day. You have a wonderful gym. I saw your gym previously before I somewhere in February. It is good. Are you using it? It is fantastic. To me, it's a very wonderful gym. I like the concept of you having a live heart center over here. I got 3 minutes left. I didn't realize that fast. Oh, okay. Okay. It is a wonderful gym. I wish you all can make use of it. Please. If there's so many of you, then you have to take your time. But it is good. Please make use of the gym. We have to make use of exercise, and if it's not in the gym, you have a wonderful compound that you can walk. If not, please come to Ayas. It's very nice, a compound to walk among the green area. Yes, please do your exercise. Eat a heart-healthy diet, which we'll talk a little bit about it. Keep a healthy weight. Keep your blood pressure healthy. Keep your cholesterol healthy, and keep your sugars healthy. All these are not coming from your parents. All these, if you get, it's because of the choice of lifestyle that you have. So number 1, I don't have to talk much about smoking, but I want to advocate something, being a person who helps people to stop smoking, is that we need to live in a clean and clear environment. Clean and clear environment. And now, smoking has been replaced by vape. Vape has become the most, I don't know, I guess when we come up with one thing, this is how Satan comes up with another one. And it's hitting the young people too much. And the problem with vape is the nicotine level in cigarette is at least 0.9 to 1 gram of nicotine. It doesn't do that much harm. In a vape, it's about 20 grams. It can even kill you. 20 grams of nicotine inside the vape. Highly addictive and highly dangerous. So now, instead of smoking, it becomes smokeless. Wait, what is right? Tobacco-free. No. I somehow just slipped my mind. Instead of taking the cigarette, now they use vape. And some of the vape is interesting. They just vape because there are trends in making shapes. So you'll see people in the YouTube, they make zero, and then they make heart shape, and then they make all these things, and they find it that it's like a skill. It's nowhere a skill. But these are the ways to attract young people to get into cigarette smoking. And from cigarette smoking, they will go into drugs. So I believe that secondhand smoking is dangerous. Your previous president was very strong against smoking and secondhand smoking. I'm not sure about the present president of Philippines. In Malaysia, we're trying our very best, both in the government sector. It took about 3 years for it to be passed in Parliament, but then they made a change. I won't go into that, but just passed about a month ago that there is some smoking law now in Malaysia. Be physically active, as I mentioned, at least 60 minutes per day of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day. I have questions that people ask me, "Doctor, on Sabbath, can we do exercise?" I said, sure, go on a nice walk. I'm using walk as an. And by the way, whoever said that exercise is bad, have you gone for a walk and then during your walk, you have bright ideas? When you're stressful, you couldn't think much, and suddenly when you go for a walk, came back, I have wonderful ideas. Rather than playing the computer games. So some of the young people say, doctor, yeah, I play games, computer games. So there are many modes of activity that you can do. I hope you don't be like this person who says he's doing his exercise. Is he doing? His dog is doing the exercise. His dog is on a nice treadmill over there, yeah. So now they use the word exercise is medicine. If exercise could be packed in a pill, it would be the single most widely prescribed and beneficial medicine in the nation, correct? And in the global epidemic of inactivity, you will see number 4 over there. I mean, these are the things that attributes to death, okay? High blood pressure, sugar, the smoking, blood glucose, and if you don't exercise, it contributes to your death, dying before 70 years old. Sometimes when I give a talk in the factories, because we have to do health promotion in the factory, the first part I will say, the first day I will say, the first portion of my talk or the introductory is, how many of you want to live to 100? Not many people want to put up their hand. Then I say, no point coming for my talk. It won't benefit you. All of you are going to die at 70 years old. So some of you will have to think, if you want to live 100, you have to be intentional, you have to do things. And one of them is physical activity. Eat a heart healthy food. Eating healthy food is one of the most important ways to keep your heart and body working at its best. Yes, in nutrition class, we use the word cheat days. You can cheat. You have come for exams, there are cheat papers. But you notice when you do cheat papers in exam, it is so difficult. I have to refer, make sure it's perfectly right, your answer. Well, if you don't have the cheat papers and you do, you just write, tuck, 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 and actually you come off an exam, you feel better. But with the cheat paper, it's so difficult. Correct? When you do your cheat days, okay, today I can cheat. I can eat a little bit of bad food. I can have some ice cream. I can have some cakes. But how often are you going to have ice creams? How often are you going to have cakes? And the problem is, our body is tuned to doing all these, inverted commas, naughty things. So I like chips. I like ice cream. But I have kept it to the minimum. And I make it very difficult to get ice creams. I will get Baskin Robbins. I don't want I will get Haagen-Dazs. I don't want Baskin Robbins, even though it's there, because I want to make it difficult. Potato chips, I only look for jalapenos from kettles. Yes, I will take Lay's and all these type of things, but I will basically try to look for that. Why? Because when I go to the shelf, if I don't say anything, I'll just take up the potato chips in the airport or what. But then I will look, no kettles. Sorry, cannot get. So that's how I make it difficult for myself to get all these delicious food. Yes, I go to a function and they give me chocolate cake, I will eat. My wife cooks delicious chocolate cakes, bakes delicious chocolate cakes, fantastic. But we don't do it often. And so we keep those cheat days to very minimum, but many people, the cheat days becomes often. Starting good habits with food that you eat early in life is an important way to help keep our bodies, heart and bodies healthy for the rest. It's important to educate children. A lot of people say, doctor, let the children eat. When they're big, then they will learn how to change. Oh man, it is difficult to change when you're big. Your taste has to be developed. And sometimes for parents, especially when you have young kids, you need to discipline them on food. Have to. I always think that parents need to discipline kids on food. When I was doing my obesity class in Loma Linda, 2, I would say very obese ladies, during our discussion, said, you know what, I blame my parents for becoming obese. So many of us look back and turn at them. And they said, you know why? They didn't discipline us when we were young. And now when we are big, we're already obese. It's so difficult for us to be slim again. So I think good habits have to be inculcated into the family life young. And even as you start learning messages, you start changing. For example, have you eaten brown rice? Is it difficult to eat? When I first started changing my lifestyle, and most of them changed when I was doing heart surgery. Okay, so maybe a testimony time here. I was vegetarian at about 15, as I mentioned yesterday. But then when I went and, study again, I started having inclination to eat meat. And I didn't like chicken, but I like beef. So I started eating a little bit more beef. And in India, they cook beef in a delicious way, very delicious way. Started eating a bit more. And then in Malaysia, I just came back and became like a non-veg. But our home, the time we got married, we made a decision. We will be eating vegetables, or we have a vegetarian diet at home. We would not cook any meat at home. Doing heart surgery, as mentioned, we were doing. And I think in about 3 or 4 months into my surgery, Dr. Poi, I have to mention him, is like a father to me, Dr. Alfred Poi, one of a good and well-known heart surgeon in Malaysia, is still practicing, and I will say that if I got a heart surgery, I will go to him at this present moment. Dr. Poi comes up to me as a trainee, as a consultant, telling me, "Hey Edward, you're going to die soon." And I say, "Why?" "Look, on the table is a 37 years old, somewhere about your age, heart surgery." But I'm not like him. He smoked, because we do our cases before, so we know their lives. He smokes, he doesn't eat it. But you, look at your diet. What are you eating now? So I said, you know what happened that time? After surgery at 3 o'clock, the hospital, the cafeteria is closed. So I'll go opposite the hospital. If you know Penang Adventist Hospital, we have a shopping mall. At that time, it's a thriving shopping mall. And there's McDonald's. So I'll go get my McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese. That's the only one I'll go. Come back, next day sometimes, again, quarter pounder with cheese. And I'll be eating my McDonald's quite a lot. And then they say, "Edward, you're going to die soon." And I went home and took stock of that idea. And I decided to change my lifestyle. So one of the things I have to change is I've been so used to eating white rice, and I like the concept of eating brown rice. Oh man, to eat brown rice, even that small portion, will take me half an hour. But I'm so glad for my wife. Very persistent, "Edward, you have to continue and continue." And it took me about, maybe a month to get used to eating brown rice. I did not like lady's finger. Oh man, did not like lady's finger. Then she started giving me lady's finger, and I started eating. There are certain fruits and vegetables that I still don't like, but my wife, I think that's the skill that all those who do cooking here, you need to do something that makes your partner enjoy food. And somehow she's able to adapt or make changes to the diet. My wife is interesting. As a principal, she will do her work 8 to 5, and then she will come back 6, 7 o'clock, sometimes look at the internet and look at the recipe. At 9 o'clock, go to the kitchen and start cooking something from the recipe. I said, "Are we going to eat now?" No. I'm going to try it. Tomorrow morning, you're going to eat it. "Oh, okay." And I'm, in a way, glad that I'm not very choosy and picky. We should not be choosy and picky of the foods. We should be choosy and picky of the healthy foods. Yes, we pick healthy foods. You cannot say, "I don't like beans. I don't want to eat beans. I don't like mushrooms. I don't want to eat mushrooms." I think it's good for us to try when it's healthy food. If you're asking me, "Let's try eat fish," then I'll say, no. If you're asking me, "Let's eat beef," then I'll say, no. That one, I will say no. But for all types of vegetables and fruits, I will give a try. So there are many types of food that we can choose. There's essential food groups that we need, and we need to have all this in our diet as often as we can. Have a variety so that you don't get used to only just one style of food. Have fruits and vegetables. What I will do is all my presentation from yesterday, I will give it with Pastor Rudy, and you can share it with the office people, all this presentation that I have. Guiding principles of food choices, also is quality. This is from choosemyplate.gov. I wanted to put the Adventist. It's about the same. Eat more fruits and vegetables. So now everywhere in the world, everybody is advocating, please eat more fruits and vegetables. In your diet, if you see one big fish and one small little bean sprout or kangkong, that is not good. You should have more vegetables and one small little fish for those of you who will eat a little bit of meat. Or small little chicken, not big chicken. I remember going through the airport once, the old airport in Malaysia, and I was looking for vegetarian food, and this person in front of me, a businessman, interesting. Oh, I should show you a video later. Maybe if I got time, I'll show you how they eat nasi kandar, in Malaysia. So this guy took one prawn, and this guy was trying to give small one. He said, no, I want big one. And then one crab and one big fish. 3 in a plate. And I was looking at him, how is he eating? Maybe he's traveling. I didn't make friends with him, but I was very interesting to see how he was eating his meal. No vegetables at all. So do you eat any vegetables? And if none, I propose or advise you to start eating. And it's not difficult to eat. Yes, yeah. But you know, the mind can change. The mind can change. If your mind can change people who don't keep Sabbath to keeping Sabbath, the mind can make you change eating your food. Oops. So, half your plates vegetable. Take salt and oil in moderation. When we talk about oil, we're talking about deep fry. And try to avoid all this nice, wonderful food. Keep your weight as healthy as possible. As your body grows and changes during the tween and teen years, gaining some weight is part of developing into a healthy young adult, correct? But when we are overweight, now there's another thing about this, overweight. You're overweight and then you come down and then you go back to your diet and become overweight and then you come down. You know that seesaw is dangerous. Dangerous. They found out that it can cause problems to your heart, problems to your sugar control. So if you're obese and you have good healthy lifestyle, interestingly, I tell people, good. So I still remember this Indonesian who came all the way from Indonesia and did his medical checkup with me. And his sugars are normal, his blood pressure is normal, he's about 35 years old. But his BMI, 35. 35 is huge, okay? And I say, what do you do? I exercise regularly, I swim, and I eat very little meat. I eat mostly vegetables, but I cannot reduce my weight. For the past 5 years, I cannot reduce my weight. I told him, you are doing good. Because the medical checkup says you're good. So sometimes, for these people who have done well, if they really like to become slim, then of course, as a doctor, I will suggest liposuction. Now, liposuction is some people say, oh, okay, very easy. I go to plastic surgeon and do liposuction. In the United States, you have to change your lifestyle for about 6 months, then only you can do liposuction. The reason is, I can do liposuction, and if you continue to eat the same food, in about 6 months, you get back. In fact, you might even get more weight. So we ask people to please take care of their lifestyle before they do all this surgery. Energy in and energy out. That's a simple thing. That's the same thing that I learned in Loma Linda nutrition class. If you want to control your weight, energy in must be less, energy out must be more. So I have these 3 ladies, very interesting ladies, who came to see me in medical checkup nearly every year before COVID. I didn't see them after COVID. And they will come together as a group, about 45, 50s. Yeah, they have children. And for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they control their diet. They are housewives. They will go and pick up their children from school, take them to tuition class. Their duty, Monday to Thursday, is taking care of their children and having a little healthy lifestyle. Then they told me very interesting, doctor, we love to eat. We like to eat. So on Friday night, they start going out and eat. Friday, Saturday, and even sometimes Sunday. And I said, wow, you all eat so much? Because when they tell me the menu, whoa, it's like going to buffets and eating, and they love to eat. Yes, doctor, we love to eat, but we also do one thing. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, we go to the gym for 3 hours. So they asked me, is it okay? So I was calculating their diet. So their diet in is very high, but they work out for 3 hours. Wow. And that's in the gym. It's not like playing badminton, 20 minutes and sit down there and talk, and then play badminton and you say, yes, I've been doing exercise for 3 hours, when actually you play badminton only for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Yeah, but they work out for 3 hours. And so I said, what do you do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Do you go to the gym? No, we don't go to the gym. Why? Because we don't eat, our diet is not so high intake calories. I said, fantastic. For housewife, you already have that idea. So it's correct. Energy in should be less, energy out should be more. So if you like to eat, start exercising more. Go exercise in the morning, go exercise in the evening. If you have the ability to calculate your calories, I heard in the Life Health Center here, you have a nutritionist. If they can do calorie counting, very good. Start counting your calories, then you can know how much exercise you need to do. High blood pressure or hypertension is an important risk factor for heart disease. We need to control that. Know your numbers. Numbers are very important in high blood pressure. You should keep it down to 140/90. In Americas, they will say 130/80, you're classified as hypertension, but they use the word pre-hypertension here. It's the same as the British. Always British and American always like to fight with a lot of things in medicine. The British will say, nothing, you're normal, only when 140/90. Americans will say 130/90, you're pre-hypertension. What is pre-hypertension? Be careful. Take care. You have the potential to be hypertensive. So once you start reaching 140/90, you have to take care. Yes, you can use what we call hypertension reversal or diabetic reversal, but, okay, just looking at my time. But in hypertension reversal, it's a change of lifestyle. Again, it's a change of lifestyle. And when does the change of lifestyle happen? Now. It doesn't happen on age. Oh, doctor, I'm 60 years old, cannot change my lifestyle already. I say, no, you can. So I got a 57-year-old Chinese Malaysian who works in Hong Kong. And I still remember when he came and see me, not now, when he came and see me about a few years ago. And his lifestyle was bad, his blood pressure was high, his sugars was high. He said, you need to take medicine or you're a potential heart disease patient. And he told me, it's not Adventist, a Chinese guy, they like to eat. He said, no, doctor, I'll come back next year, you'll see me different. And true enough, when he came back the next year, I was like, huh? I cannot recognize you. What did you do? Oh, doctor, I changed. I now do marathon. I said, no, I didn't force you to do. No, I like to do. Correct. If you like to do marathon, please do. And the message over here is not to force you to do marathon, but the message is for you to go out and do exercise. And he does not marathon, he does ultra marathon. I thought that's too much, but he loves it. If he loves it, it's fine. Ultra marathon, you know what? He goes to Kenya and do 3 days of running. Wow. I cannot imagine people doing ultra marathon, 3 days of running. I've done marathons, okay? I've done for 4 hours and a half. Wow, that's already tiring for me. So can you imagine doing 3 days of running? Whew, man. And he's so happy. He's smiling and all that. So if you do something in exercise that you're happy, I am happy. If today you decide to go out for a walk and come back after that and say, doctor, I feel good, and I said, you made a change of lifestyle, I will be very happy. So, but if you sit down at home and get all this high blood pressure and you still don't manage it, then it's a problem. If you don't manage it with lifestyle, then you need medication. Please, because medication has been known to prolong life. If it's not for medication, many of us would be having problems early. So if you don't want medication, again, change your lifestyle. So if your blood pressure is high, you need to act now, not say wait, yeah? So these are the main 5 things that causes hypertension, or 6 things: obesity, increase in salt, lack of exercise, alcohol, smoking, poor choice of food. Now, interesting, I gave a talk in Vietnam. So as I was preparing in Vietnam for the church in Vietnam on this talk, obesity was number 1. And true, obesity is like the number 1 cause for high blood pressure. But Vietnamese are all slim. So when I went and looked at the research in Vietnam, interesting, you know what's the cause of hypertension in Vietnam? Salt. Have you eaten Vietnamese food? The pho, the soup is already salty to me. And you'll see the Vietnamese taking soy sauce. And some even don't even take soy sauce and they put salt also. Have you seen people eat omelette in the hotel? It's already quite salty. And then they have their tomato sauce, and then they put salt. And again, wow, it's really salty. Now, if you're doing this for 1 or twice, okay, but you do it regularly, and Vietnamese food is very, very salty. Yes, taste is nice, but if this taste is going to kill you, I think you need to change the taste bud. Yeah. So be careful of the salt. Cholesterol. Keep your cholesterol under control. And interesting, one of the main causes of cholesterol is meat-based food. Meat-based cholesterol comes from an animal-based or meat-based food. It does not come from vegetables. Yes, there are vegetable sterols or cholesterols, but they do not cause harm to your body. The harm comes from the meat-based food. So anybody in high cholesterol, my first advice is cut down meat. And if they can't cut down and cholesterol is still high, then I need to give them medication. Again, all these numbers need to be down. Numbers are very important for doctors. A lot of people say, doctors, those numbers is for you to prescribe medicine so that the pharmacy could be rich and the drug company can be rich. No, I don't believe in that. I believe in the numbers, keeping it down so that you can be healthy and you can live long. Keep your cholesterol. The cholesterol is the one that causes the the blockage in your blood vessels. And the good cholesterol removes the blockage. And now, how is the good cholesterol being produced in your body? Any answer from the floor? Good cholesterol? Exercise. Interesting. How wonderful God has made our body to function well. It's given you all the modalities, the good cholesterol. Yes, we talk about HDL being produced by omega-3, but the main one source of good cholesterol is your exercise. Keep your sugars down. That's another one over here. And so we know about diabetes. I didn't want to explain much because all of us know about diabetes. And we have to keep the sugar down. Now the part here I want to mention is we need to measure your sugars. So how many of you have done a medical checkup? All of you are sitting down here and say, I feel healthy and strong. So I have a patient from the church who came from a meeting in Thailand, came to my office as a medical checkup, not on his own, interesting, on the invitation of another Adventist. Says, hey, since you're in Thailand, going all the way to Indonesia, let's pop by Penang Adventist Hospital. It's very good. It's an Adventist hospital. Come, let's do a medical checkup. So he came, see me, and his stress ECG was not good. So I told him, Pastor, he's a pastor. I said, Pastor, you need to see cardiologist. Cardiologist? Tomorrow is my flight to Indonesia. Maybe next week. I said, no, Pastor. Today, you need to see a cardiologist. Why? That bad? I think it's not good, Pastor. And so, but I'm okay. I'm not obese. He's actually quite slim. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. And everything he says, I'm good. I say, Pastor, your EKG is not good. You need to see the cardiologist. So I think that was on Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, saw the cardiologist. Wednesday, had to do an angiogram because the cardiologist agreed we have to do something. Thursday or Sunday? Monday, I think he saw me on Wednesday. The next day, Monday, was bypass surgery. He had severe blocks. And I told him, Pastor, if not for this checkup, there is a potential that you could have died in the next 3 to 6 months. And he was so happy for that part. How many of us here know our numbers? How many of us here know our condition of our body? We need to do a medical checkup. Yes, you can do it nicely over here in Silang or in Cavite. Do it, get your numbers. I also like to advise that if you have the opportunity, go to Penang Adventist Hospital. It's a 100-years-old hospital this year, 1924, the hospital was founded in December. The Wellness Center, actually I'll promote a little bit about Wellness Center if you allow me some time. Pastor, fine. I'll try and finish by 5 minutes time. Penang Adventist Hospital, as you know, have many firsts. First missionary hospital, first cardiac surgery in north of Malaysia. Everything was in Kuala Lumpur until Dr. Poi started his cardiac surgery. And then it started booming. Wellness Center, at that time in 1994, 93, 94, there was no word such as Wellness Center. Nothing. Nobody used the word Wellness Center. Dr. Pang Chu Yen went to Loma Linda, studied, and she did a very interesting study. Return on investment for corporate clients. She took a corporate client in Malaysia and found out that if they do medical checkup, that corporate client will save, I forgot the exact figure, but it's somewhere about 4 million ringgit per year, just by doing medical checkup. And so she came over and started the Wellness Center. Companies were saying, why do I need to send healthy individuals like you and I to a hospital like Penang Adventist Hospital to get checkup and waste money? Why do I need to spend money and waste money on healthy individuals? If you're sick, yes. And she found out that if you do this, we prevent you from getting heart disease. Heart disease in Malaysia, a cardiac operation now is about 40,000 ringgit Malaysia. Convert to USD is about 10,000. Coming is about 10,000 USD. If you do a medical checkup, it's about 1,000 ringgit Malaysia, coming to about 300 USD. You do a medical checkup and you're in the company for 10 years. You spend about 3,000 USD. You still save 7,000 USD if you don't get a heart disease in that sense. Number two, heart disease, you die. And in the company, you have spent so much. I've trained Dr. Edward to do this, and in 5 years, he can't, died of heart attack. Oh man, that's a waste of money. I have to train another person. Send him again to US or Europe and get train, and then come back again, get diabetes, get heart disease, get stroke. Bam! So that's a waste of money, actually, if you talk about return on investment. So she started the medical checkup in Penang. And you know what? Other hospitals start copying Penang. Oh, Penang is so good. Let's do a wellness center in this hospital. Let's do a wellness center there. Let's do it. But no wellness center has come close to Penang Adventist Hospital. The investment that the hospital has done on machines is fantastic. You know, our lab machines, the Abbott machine, is the second best in the world at that time when it was purchased. It was really good. It can produce results in half an hour if that load is there. So for some of you, if you come to Penang Adventist Hospital, 8 o'clock you do medical checkup. Some of you have done it already. You do 8 o'clock medical check. This thing, by 10 or 11 o'clock, I will get your report out in the same day. If it's, yeah. If we have contacts, we will get it done in the same day. So it can be done, and you need to do your medical checkup. So prevention is better than cure. We screen for hypertension, diabetes, cancer for some cases, heart disease, obesity, lifestyle, lungs, even arthritis. So what do we do in the screening? Some of you know, you do a questionnaire because we ask you about your lifestyle. And it's not one page. It's about 5-7 pages, if I'm not mistaken. We do your physical checkup. You do your machine checks. That means your ultrasound and your blood test. And then it comes out with this. Let me see. Oops, I thought I have a picture of my, oh, I didn't have, sorry. I was supposed to show you a picture of the case report. Of how the report is churned out. And so that is done. I'm still visiting consultant for Penang Adventist Hospital Lifestyle Center. So IS and Penang Adventist Hospital agreed that I still need to keep my Malaysian license. So I will be practicing in November for 2 weeks in the Lifestyle Center in Penang Adventist Hospital, just to let you know. But I do encourage you, if you can't come to Penang, please do it somewhere here. You can get free consultation from me, because my goal is to make sure that all of you remain healthy and, if possible, live to 100. Not even 100. If you can go 110, 120, you can, but let's do 100 first. Secrets to long life. You know, now everybody is looking at the church. You know, that Live to 100 has advertised Adventist so much now. And people will be looking to you. My patient says, you're going to Loma Linda? Oh, are you Adventist? Can you imagine? I work at Adventist Hospital and asking me, are you Adventist? So I said, yes. Wow, you all can live to 100. I'm so proud when she says, you all can live to 100. So if your friends find out that you're Adventist, maybe some of them, when they see this thing, they'll say, you're going to live to 100. Are you going to smile and say yes? Or, not sure. Okay? So again, another thing for living to 100 is the attitude. Happiness in old age may have more to do with attitude than actual health. So again, I'm touching now the psychological, the brain part. In fact, optimism and effective coping styles were found to be more important to successful aging than the traditional measures of health and wellness. These findings suggest that physical health is not only the best indicator of successful aging, attitude is. So I'm combining this, both attitude as well as your health, present health. If you are good, you'll be a happy person. I'm telling you, when you all come out for medical checkup in Penang, some of you have done it, and when you get good, doctor, I got A-, I got B+. You know how big their smile is? But when you saw this pastor who came out, you need to see heart surgery. He couldn't, and he had to do his heart surgery. I'm glad to tell you that is well. That was about a year ago. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Thank you.
Share this video with your friends and family. Let us know in the comments what you appreciate most from today's topic. If you enjoyed and inspired by today's message, we invite you to give us a follow or a like on social media platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. See you in the next stream. God bless.